12-year-old Adam sat by the window seat, his hands tightly gripping the armrest. It was his first time on an airplane. His mom sat beside him, smiling gently, trying to hide her own nervousness. "You okay, sweetheart?" she asked. Adam gave a stiff nod. "Yeah, I think so." But his eyes stayed fixed on the wing of the plane as it cut through the morning clouds. The hum of the engines vibrated through the floor. He hated heights. Even looking down from his bedroom window made his stomach twist. And now, he was 30,000 feet in the sky. He closed his eyes for a moment, trying to hear his dad's voice in his mind. That always helped. His dad used to be a pilot. The best, everyone said. Adam remembered sitting on his lap as a little kid, pretending to fly a wooden toy plane. But then, one day, his dad was gone. A heart attack, they said. Quiet and sudden. Since then, flights had always made Adam think of him. Flying used to mean joy. Now, it meant fear. The seatbelt sign was still on. The cabin lights dimmed. Passengers chatted softly or watched movies. Everything seemed normal, safe, until at WASN, single quotes, it started with a faint thud. A small sound, most people didn't even notice. Adam did. He looked around. His mom was flipping through a magazine. The flight attendant walked by, checking on passengers. Then came the second sound, louder, sharper. It made the windows shake for a second. Adam's mom looked up. "What was that?" Adam asked. "I don't know, maybe turbulence," she answered, trying to sound calm. Then, the overhead speakers clicked on. The captain's voice came through, rough and tense. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some minor technical issues. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened." The voice cut off suddenly, just like that. No goodbye, no thank you, just static. Adam felt his heart speed up. He looked at his mom. She forced a smile. "It's okay. Planes have issues. All the time. They're trained for this." The turbulence started slowly, a soft rocking motion, but soon, it grew. The plane dipped forward, then back again. People began to murmur. The lights flickered. The flight attendants rushed down the aisle, strapping themselves into jump seats. One woman screamed. A baby began crying. Adam's fingers dug into the armrest. He could feel the metal under the plastic. His mom grabbed his hand. "Breathe. Just breathe." The speakers came on again. This time a different voice, less calm, more urgent. "We are making efforts to fix the issue. Please stay calm." Then static again. Adam looked out the window. All he could see was blue sky above and soft clouds below. But the plane didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was flying. Anymore, it felt wrong. Bang! Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the cabin. People screamed. The plane jerked to the side. A man fell out of his seat. A cart rolled down the aisle. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. Panic erupted. Adam's mom pulled one down and helped Adam put it on. It's okay," she kept saying, but her hands were shaking. Adam pulled the mask over his face and looked around. People were crying, holding hands, praying. A flight attendant stood up and shouted, "Remain seated, do not panic." Her voice was lost in the chaos. Then, the cockpit door opened. A man stumbled out. He wore the uniform of a pilot, but his face was pale and soaked with sweat. He leaned against the wall, gasping. A flight attendant ran to him. "What's happening?" she asked. The man shook his head. "The captain," he collapsed. Silence fell for a second. One terrible second. "You're flying the plane, right?" the attendant asked. The man shook his head again, slower. "This time, I'm not the main pilot. I was just helping. I have a heart condition." And right then, in front of everyone, he collapsed to the floor. People screamed. The plane dipped again. Harder this time. Luggage fell from the compartments. A suitcase hit someone on the head. Adam clung to the seat. The noise, the shaking, the screams, it was too much. He wanted to shut it all out. But then, he heard something strange. A voice in his mind. It was his dad's voice. "Calm, strong. Remember what I taught you, buddy. Breathe. Stay calm." And just like that, Adam's heartbeat slowed. A little, just a little. He looked toward the front of the plane. The cockpit door was wide open now. No one was inside. No one, just blinking lights and beeping alarms. A red warning on the panel blinked. Autopilot failure. Adam stood up. "Adam," his mom cried. "Where are you going?" He turned and looked at her. "I need to see the cockpit." "No," she shouted. "Stay here." But something inside him pushed forward, a feeling he didn't understand. He remembered the simulator. He remembered the switches. He remembered sitting beside his dad, learning names, functions, buttons. A voice shouted, "Kid, sit down." But he kept walking, one step at a time. The plane shook again. A man tried to grab him. "Let him go," said an old man nearby. "He's the only one moving toward the front. Let him try." Adam walked into the cockpit. It felt smaller than he remembered, crammed with switches, lights, and buttons. 2 chairs, 2 control sticks. The front windshield showed nothing but sky and tiny dots of ocean far below. He sat down slowly. His fingers touched the controls. Cold, familiar. His heart raced. Then he reached for the headset. It took him 3 tries to get it on. He pressed the red button his dad had shown him years ago. "This is Liz, this is Adam," he said, voice trembling. "I'm 12 years old. I'm in the cockpit. I think the pilots are gone. I don't know what to do. Static. Then a voice came. Calm, surprised, and serious. Who is this? Did you say you're 12? Yes, I need help. The plane is falling. The voice answered quickly. Adam, my name is Diaz. I'm with air traffic control. I'm going to stay with you. Don't touch anything yet. Do you see the main screen? Yes. Good. Look for the green lever. Pull it up slowly. Adam found it. Pulled. The plane shuddered. It leveled just a little. Diaz continued. You're doing good, Adam. I'm going to help you land this. Just listen to my voice. Okay? Adam nodded. Then realized Diaz couldn't see him. Okay. The screen in front of him showed numbers and warning signs. He didn't understand all of them, but some made sense. Altitude, speed, fuel. The numbers were dropping. Fast. Diaz, he said. We're still falling. I know, Diaz replied. I need you to keep calm. You're not alone. Outside, the clouds began to thin. The blue turned to pale gray. Adam looked down and saw the ocean again. It was closer than before. Much closer. Diaz, he whispered. What happens if we don't stop falling? There was a pause. Then, Diaz said gently, we're not going to let that happen. I believe in you, Adam. Adam blinked fast. He didn't want to cry. He couldn't. Not now. Okay, he said again, louder. Tell me what to do. In the cabin behind him, no one knew what was happening inside the cockpit. Only that a child had walked in and no adult had followed. Adam's mother sat in her seat, tears rolling down her cheeks, praying under her breath. People whispered, panicked, but no one dared move. Not yet. The sky around them darkened slightly. A storm was brewing ahead. Diaz spoke again. Adam, I'm guiding another plane toward you. They'll fly close and help. How long? Adam asked. 10 minutes, Diaz replied. You need to hold on for 10 minutes. Adam nodded. His hands gripped the control stick. His legs shook, but his eyes stayed focused. Then dash another beat. A red light on the panel. Adam leaned in. It read, altitude warning, critical. He looked at the window again. The sea was no longer tiny. It was close, too close. Adam's breath caught in his throat. Diaz, he whispered, but no answer. Just static. He tapped the button. Diaz, still nothing. Adam was alone. Again. Adam sat in the cockpit, frozen, staring at the blinking red light. The words on the screen flashed again and again. Altitude warning. Critical. He pressed the radio button once more. Diaz, please. Are you there? No reply. Just the same awful static, hissing in his ears. His heart pounded so loudly he could hear it echo inside his head. The ocean outside the window was bigger now, rising like a wall. Adam's hands gripped the controls tightly, his arms shaking. He felt small, useless, his chest tightened. What if this was the end? What if he failed and all those people died? Because of him? For a moment, his breath came in short, fast gasps. He was going to panic. He was going to lose control. And then he heard a sound not from the headset but from deep inside his memory. A voice, low and calm. His dad's voice. Flying is like dancing, buddy. You don't fight the sky, you move with it. Adam's hands loosened. His breath slowed. He closed his eyes. Just for a second. Then he spoke out loud, though no one was listening. I'm going to try. He reached for the throttle. He remembered where it was from all those times in the simulator with his dad. He eased it forward, slowly. The engine gave a low roar, deeper than before. The plane responded barely. It shook, dipped, but then leveled slightly. Adam looked at the altitude gauge. It was still falling, but not as fast. He touched the yoke gently, trying to remember the steps. Trim up, balance the wings. Don't fight the wind, he whispered to himself. The plane wobbled but stayed steady. He blinked sweat from his eyes. Then he heard a new voice, not from the headset but behind him. What are you doing? Adam turned. A flight attendant stood at the door, pale, scared, eyes wide. I'm trying to fly, he said. There's no one else. She stared at him like he was a ghost. Then she whispered, do you know how? Adam shook his head. No, but my dad taught me some things. He was a pilot. I remember some stuff. The woman didn't move for a moment. Then, slowly, she stepped closer. Is anyone helping you? There was a man dies from the ground. But he's gone now. I can't hear him. She nodded. Okay, I'll stay with you. You're not alone. She sat in the co-pilot's chair, hands folded in her lap, shaking. My name's Clara, she said. I'm Adam, he replied. Nice to meet you, Captain Adam, she said with a weak smile. Adam couldn't smile back. Not yet. The radio crackled. A new voice came through. Sharp, nervous. Flight 200. This is Control South. We are taking over. Do you read? Adam grabbed the headset. Yes, I hear you. Who is this? The voice asked. Adam, I'm flying the plane, kind of. There was silence on the other end. Then, how old are you, Adam? 12, he replied. Another pause. Then a second voice came in, calmer and older. Adam, my name is Marla. I'm a flight instructor. I'm going to help you now. You're doing great. Can you tell me your altitude and speed? Adam read the numbers as best as he could. Marla responded, you've slowed the descent. That's excellent. You bought us some time. Now we need to work together. Okay? Okay, Adam whispered. In the cabin behind him, people were still crying. Some were silent, some prayed, and some argued. A man shouted, "Why is a kid flying the plane?" Another answered, "Because all the adults are dead or useless." Adam's mother sat in silence, clutching her son's backpack in her lap. She had tears running down her cheeks, but didn't sob. She had reached the point beyond crying. She whispered, "Please, just let him live. Let my baby live." Then she stood and moved forward, ignoring the shaking plane and the angry passengers. She reached the cockpit and looked in. She saw Adam, her little boy, sitting in the pilot's seat, his hands firm on the controls. "Adam," she said softly. He turned and saw her. His face was pale. "Mom, you can do this," she said. "I know you can." He nodded once, then turned back to the panel. Marla's voice came through again. "Adam, we have two options. One, we try to land on a nearby island runway, but it's risky. It's small and surrounded by cliffs. Two, we ditch in the ocean, and emergency boats try to reach you. What do you want to do?" Adam looked out at the water, rising higher every second. "Is the island close?" he asked. 17 minutes, she said. "Can we stay in the air that long?" "If we adjust the power and angle," she said, barely. Adam looked at Clara. She nodded. "Let's try the island," Adam said. Marla began giving instructions. "Ease the throttle to 50%. Adjust the flap to level 2. That's it, good." Adam followed every word. His hands moved with purpose now. He didn't know how he was doing it. Maybe it was muscle memory. Maybe it was just trust. But somehow, the plane obeyed. It didn't fall, it glided, wobbly and low, but it glided. Clara wiped her eyes. "You're doing it," she whispered. The island appeared in the distance, tiny, surrounded by rocky cliffs and blue waves. "Marla," Adam said, "I see it." "Good, Adam. You need to start descending carefully. We'll need a steep angle." "Ready? Ready?" he said. The plane turned slowly, trembling. In the cabin, the seatbelt sign flickered. People screamed as the plane tilted. The engines roared louder. Adam pulled the nose down slightly. The wind howled against the windows. The plane began to descend faster. "Too fast," Marla's voice rose. Ease it now. Don't let it nosedive." Adam pulled back gently. The plane leveled again. Clara gasped. The altimeter showed 1,000 feet, then 900, then 800. The ground rushed toward them. The runway was visible now, short, narrow, barely enough space. "Gear down," Marla said. Adam flipped the switch. He heard the mechanical sound of wheels lowering, but then another red light blinked. "Gear failure." "Marla," he said, "it's not working." Silence. Then, Okay, it's okay. We can do this. You'll have to land without gear. Slide on the belly. Can you do that?" "I don't know," Adam said, "but I'll try." The plane was 500 feet above ground, then 300, then 200. People braced in their seats. Clara held on to the side of the cockpit. Adam looked straight ahead. The island runway rushed toward him. "Almost there," Marla said. "Ease up, slow descent. You've got this." At 1 feet, the plane shook violently. Wind hit from the side. Adam corrected it. His hands felt like they were on fire. His arms ached, but he didn't stop. The plane touched the runway. Sparks flew. The belly scraped the ground. The sound was thunderous. People screamed. The plane slid, metal grinding, until it slowed, then stopped. Silence, then dash. Cheers, cries, laughter. Clara sobbed. Adam sat frozen. He had done it. He had landed the plane. He looked up at the control panel. The red lights were still blinking. Smoke curled from the sides, but the world outside was still. They were alive. He took off the headset. "We made it," he whispered. Clara leaned over and hugged him. "You saved us, Adam. You saved us all." Then the cockpit door opened, and his mom rushed in. She dropped to her knees beside him, holding him tightly. "My brave boy," she cried. "My brave, brave boy." Adam didn't speak. He didn't move. He just held her back. Outside, emergency vehicles raced toward the plane. But inside, in that small cockpit, all that mattered was a 12-year-old boy who had done the impossible. And deep in his heart, Adam whispered one thing. "Thanks, Dad. I know you were with me." But before anyone could celebrate, a loud bang echoed from the cargo hold. The plane jolted once more. "What was that?" Clara shouted. Adam looked up. The lights flickered. Then the control panel blinked a new warning. "Fire in rear section." The story wasn't over yet. The warning light glowed red across the top of the cockpit. "Fire in rear section." The siren wasn't loud, but it pulsed like a heartbeat, steady, threatening. Adam stared at it for one long second, his body frozen again, after just surviving the crash landing. His mom was still holding him tightly. Clara looked toward the back of the plane. No, this can't be happening," she whispered. Outside, emergency crews were just arriving, racing toward the aircraft. Dust and smoke filled the air. From the back of the plane, someone screamed. Then another shout, "There's fire." Adam unbuckled his belt and stood, legs trembling. "I have to go help," he said. "No," his mom said quickly, grabbing his arm. "You've done enough, Adam. Let the rescuers do it." But Adam shook his head. "Not everyone knows what's happening. Some people might be trapped." Clara looked at him, her face torn between fear and awe. "You're just a kid," she said softly, "but you've already done more than anyone else could." Adam didn't answer. He turned and ran into the main cabin. Smoke curled up from under the floorboards. The heat was growing in the air. People were unbuckling, crying, shouting. Many had already begun running toward the emergency exits. But the fire was toward the back where the rear door and most of the storage space was. Adam moved down the aisle quickly, dodging panicked passengers. He shouted, "Stay calm. Head to the front. Help others if you can." His voice cracked, but people heard him. Some listened, some didn't. He passed a woman holding a baby who was coughing hard. The woman looked lost. "Come with me," Adam said, reaching for her hand. She nodded, tears in her eyes, and followed him as he guided her to Clara at the front. Flames began licking the back wall near the galley. The rear bathroom door had melted partly. A young man tried to open a luggage compartment to get his bag, but Adam shouted at him, "Leave it, it's not worth it." Sparks rained down from the overhead wires. Adam felt the heat rising under his shoes. Then he saw a boy maybe 5 years old curled under a seat, too scared to move. His parents weren't in sight. "Hey," Adam dropped down beside him. "It's okay. I'm here. We're getting out. Okay." The boy just stared, frozen. Adam scooped him into his arms and ran toward the front again. Smoke followed behind them like a shadow. Outside, firefighters were rolling hoses toward the rear. Rescue teams pulled open the front hatch and began placing ladders against the exit. Clara waved from the top of the ramp, helping people down. Adam reached her and handed over the small boy. "He was hiding," he said. Clara nodded, tears in her eyes. "You saved him too." Adam turned back. "Are there more inside?" he asked. She didn't answer, just looked toward the thick black smoke now filling the cabin. Adam didn't wait. He ran back in. His mom stood near the cockpit coughing. "Where are you going?" she shouted. "Adam, there might be more," he yelled back. She wanted to run after him but couldn't breathe through the smoke. Flames were crawling up the sides of the rear wall now. Adam stayed low, crawling under the heat. He checked each seat row, calling out, "Is anyone there?" At row 27, he heard a cough. He pushed forward and found an old man half-conscious, trapped under a fallen luggage compartment door. "Help," the man whispered. Adam grabbed the edge of the door and pulled with everything he had. It didn't move. The heat grew stronger. "I'm not leaving you," Adam said. He pushed harder. The door shifted just enough. The man groaned. Adam grabbed him under the arms and dragged him down the aisle, step by painful step. Suddenly the lights flickered and went out. The emergency lights kicked in dim red along the floor. Fire crackled behind him. Smoke bit at his eyes. He couldn't see the front, he could only follow the red lights. Step by step, his arms hurt. His legs were shaking, but he didn't stop. Clara's voice echoed faintly. "This way, Adam. I see you." A beam of light cut through the smoke. A firefighter had entered with a flashlight. He reached them and helped pull the old man the rest of the way. Adam stumbled out into the open air, gasping. His face was black with soot. His hands were raw, but he was alive. And so was the old man. The firefighters carried the man away, toward a stretcher. Clara knelt beside Adam. "That was the last one. Everyone's out. You did it. It's over." Adam coughed and nodded. His mom rushed to him, wrapping her arms around him tight. "I thought I lost you," she said, her voice shaking. "I thought you were gone?" "I'm okay," Adam whispered. "I'm okay now." Paramedics surrounded him, checking his lungs, wiping his face, handing him water. News cameras appeared nearby. Reporters pointed and whispered, "That's the boy. That's the one who flew the plane." Someone tried to interview him, but Clara blocked the way. "He's just a child. Give him space." An hour passed. Firefighters finally put out the flames. All passengers were accounted for, injured but alive. No deaths. None. A miracle. One of the rescue commanders approached Adam. "We've never seen anything like this," he said. "You did something no adult could. You saved 213 lives." Adam didn't know what to say. He looked down at his shoes. One of them partly melted. His hands were still shaking. Then the commander added, "But there's one more thing. We found something. In the cockpit, it has your name on it." He handed Adam a small flash drive. Adam took it slowly. "Where was this?" "Inside a panel. It looks like someone hid it there." Adam stared at it. He remembered the cockpit's lower drawer, the one his dad had said held backup logs. Was this from his father? That night, after everything calmed down and the passengers were taken to safety, Adam sat quietly in a temporary shelter. He held the flash drive in his hand. A volunteer gave him a laptop. Adam inserted the drive and opened the only file on it. A video started. It was grainy, but the voice was clear. "If you're watching this, Adam, it means you found your way to the skies." It was his father's voice. Adam froze. The voice continued. "I don't know if I'm still around. Maybe I'm not. But I want you to know something. You're stronger than you think. One day, the world might look to you for help. And I know you'll be ready." Adam's eyes filled with tears. The video kept playing. "Flying is more than machines. It's heart. It's courage. And you, son, have both. I love you." Then the screen went black. Adam sat there, silent, tears rolling down his face. He clutched the flash drive to his chest. His mom came up behind him and gently wrapped her arms around his shoulders. What was it? She asked. A gift, Adam said softly. From Dad. She didn't ask more, she just held him. For the first time since that terrible day started, Adam let himself cry. Not out of fear, but because he had made it. They all had. But outside the shelter, in the darkness beyond the airstrip, someone stood watching. A man in a suit, holding a phone to his ear. Yes, he said into the phone. The boy survived, and he flew the plane. He paused, listening. No one knows about the file yet, but we might have a problem. The kid's father. He left more than just flight logs. Another pause. Yes, sir, I'll handle it. Then he hung up, stepped back into the shadows, and disappeared. Adam woke up to the soft sound of rain tapping on the roof of the emergency shelter. The night had passed like a blur. Sirens, lights, questions, blankets, cameras. He hadn't really slept. He just lay in a quiet room with 20 other survivors, curled under a gray blanket, holding the flash drive close to his chest. He was still wearing the same clothes, his shirt torn at the sleeve, one shoe gone, his hands scraped and bandaged. He looked around. His mother was asleep in a chair beside him, her head resting against a pillow. Her face was pale from worry, but peaceful now. The shelter was quiet, except for the occasional whisper or shuffle. Outside, he could hear rescue helicopters still circling the island and supply trucks moving down muddy roads. Adam slowly sat up. His body ached. His neck was stiff, but his heart was calm, strangely calm, like something inside him had changed overnight. Like he wasn't just a scared kid anymore. He stood up, careful not to wake his mom, and stepped out into the hallway. A soldier nodded at him and said, "Morning, Captain." Adam blinked. "I'm not a captain." The man smiled. "To us, you are." He stepped outside the shelter into the morning mist. The field beyond the tents was damp and full of equipment, rescue gear, emergency food stations, people in uniforms, talking into radios. Adam walked past the wreckage of the plane. It still sat there, burnt in parts, but the cockpit windows were clear. He remembered everything, every button he touched, every sound, every word from the headset. And he remembered the fire, the old man he carried, the boy he pulled from under the seat. Every moment was sharp and alive in his memory, but most of all, he remembered the flash drive, the message from his father, and the last words, "You're stronger than you think." He reached the edge of the airstrip where a few men were standing around a black van with tinted windows. One of them looked up and noticed Adam. He quickly stepped forward and smiled politely. "Adam, good morning. I'm Agent Rami. I'm with the National Aviation Safety Authority. Mind if we talk?" Adam hesitated. "About what?" "About the flight. You're a very brave young man. We'd like to understand what happened." Adam nodded slowly. "Okay." Rami motioned to a bench nearby, and they sat. "Can you tell me again what happened after the pilots went down?" Adam repeated the events, how he went into the cockpit, how he contacted Diaz, how he landed the plane. Rami nodded, taking notes. "Incredible," he said. "And you've had no formal flight training?" "Just flight sims with my dad," Adam replied. "He used to be a pilot." Rami paused, then said, "What was your father's name?" "Michael Hayes." Rami's eyes flickered. "Ah, yes. I've read about him. Decorated, right? Worked international routes. Died of heart failure." Adam nodded. 3 years ago?" Rami smiled gently. "I'm sorry. He must have been very proud of you." But something in Rami's voice felt too smooth, too careful. Adam shifted in his seat. Rami continued. "You know, sometimes pilots leave notes or messages behind training. Files, safety logs. Did you happen to find anything like that in the cockpit?" Adam looked at him. "Why?" "Just standard investigation," Rami said quickly. "We like to gather every detail. Even personal notes help us understand what went wrong." Adam thought about the flash drive in his pocket. He didn't move. "No," he said quietly. "I didn't find anything." Rami nodded again, still smiling. "If you do remember anything, let us know." He handed Adam a small card. "Here's my number. You can call any time." Then he stood up and walked back to the van. As soon as he was gone, Adam stepped behind a supply tent and took out the flash drive. He gripped it tightly. Something about the way Rami spoke. It didn't feel right. His dad hadn't just left a message. That message was hidden inside a locked panel, and someone else knew it was there. Later that morning, news reporters arrived. They lined up outside the camp, waiting with cameras, eager to speak to the miracle boy pilot. Adam's mom hugged him close and said, "You don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to." But Adam nodded. "It's okay. I want to tell the truth." At the press area, Adam stood in front of the microphones, nervous but calm. One reporter asked, "How did you stay brave in the cockpit, knowing everyone's life was in your hands?" Adam said, "I didn't feel brave. I was scared, but I kept hearing my dad's voice. He used to teach me about flying. I think he was with me." Another reporter asked, "Did you know the plane was damaged before landing?" "Yes," Adam replied, "but I didn't have another choice. We were too low for ocean rescue." Another question came fast. "Is it true you received instructions from someone named Diaz?" Adam paused. "Yes, but then the signal was lost. After that, I had to do it alone." After the interview, he returned to the tent, exhausted. His mom made him rest, but he couldn't sleep. His mind kept going back to Rami, to the hidden file, to his father's voice. Something didn't feel finished. That night, when the camp grew quiet, Adam turned on the laptop again and opened the flash drive. This time, he looked deeper. There were hidden folders, 2 of them. One was titled Echo Blue. He clicked it. A list of strange documents, opened logs, emails, flight paths. One file was marked confidential, not for distribution. He opened it. The screen filled with lines of text-coded reports. Pilot notes, strange words like unauthorized cargo and mid-air route, and then, a sentence, flight path. Altered to avoid contact with classified drone signal. Pilot protested, reroute data attached. Adam scrolled down. There were images, maps, radar scans, and then, a final video. He pressed play. His father appeared again. This time he wasn't smiling. He looked serious. Adam, he said, if this reaches you, then something happened. And I fear it wasn't an accident. There are things in the sky you don't know. I saw something. I reported it. Then I was grounded. Then I got sick. Too fast. Too sudden. If you're seeing this, I need you to be careful. They might come looking. Not for the plane, for what it carried. The video ended. Adam sat back, stunned. What was his dad talking about? Something in the cargo? Some secret flight path? He remembered the co-pilot, how sick he looked before collapsing. The oxygen problems. The strange turbulence before the fall. Were they all connected? He needed answers. But who could he trust? The next day, while walking through the camp, Adam saw a woman in a military uniform watching him. She had gray hair tied back and sharp eyes. When their eyes met, she gave a small nod. Later that afternoon, she approached him near the food station. You're Adam, right? He nodded. I'm Colonel Vega, she said. I read your father's final flight report years ago. He was one of the few who spoke up. Spoke up about what? She looked around, lowered her voice. There are operations that happen without official records. Your father stumbled on one. His last flight carried something that didn't show on the manifest. What kind of something? Adam asked. I don't know, she said. But it scared him enough to hide messages in flight simulators and leave backup drives in control panels. Adam showed her the flash drive. He left this for me. She took it gently. You're brave to carry it this far. But now you're in danger. Adam looked at her, fear rising again. From who? Not everyone wants this file to exist, Vega said. Agent Ramai is not with aviation. He works for a different branch, and he's not here for safety checks. He's here to find this. She held up the flash drive. And if you hadn't lied to him, you might not be standing here now. Adam's throat tightened. What do we do? Vega looked him in the eyes. We finish what your father started, but you'll need to leave this island with me quietly. No press, no cameras, just you and the truth. Adam nodded. When do we leave? She smiled slightly. Now. As the sun set behind the island, Adam walked with Vega toward a side gate, away from the noise and the reporters. He didn't look back. He carried nothing but a small bagand, the memory of the cockpit, the fire, the boy he saved, and the voice of a father who saw what no one believed. And as the gate closed behind him, he felt it deep in his chest. This story wasn't just about a plane falling. It was about why it fell, and what it tried to hide. Adam sat in the back seat of a military jeep as it rolled away from the island camp, his fingers tightly gripping the flash drive. Colonel Vega drove in silence, her eyes focused on the muddy path ahead. The jungle blurred past them. The rescue zone, the reporters. The tinsel of it disappeared behind them as they moved deeper into the island's interior. Adam felt like he was inside a dream. Just 2 days ago, he was a scared boy on a crashing plane. Now he was being taken away, in secret, by a colonel who said his father might have been killed because he knew too much. The road was bumpy and rough. The tires splashed through puddles and slid over wet leaves. Finally, Vega stopped the jeep near a metal gate covered in moss. She pulled out a keycard, swiped it, and the gate creaked open slowly. Behind it was a small bunker made of concrete and rusted steel. Where are we? Adam asked, his voice barely above a whisper. An old observation post, Vega said. No one knows, we still use it. They stepped inside. The room smelled like dust and wires. There were maps pinned to the walls, boxes, stacked in corners, and a long desk filled with old radio equipment. Vega sat at the desk and plugged the flash drive into a secure laptop. Let's see what he left us, she said. Adam stood beside her, watching the screen light up. Folders opened, the files loaded. His father's name appeared again and again, capped. Michael Hayes. Flight logs, hidden recordings, video messages. One video file was labeled, If Something Happens to Me. Vega clicked on it. Adam's father appeared on screen again, this time with fear in his eyes. To anyone watching this, especially my son, please, listen. My final flight was changed last minute. No notice. We were told to carry light cargo, no passenger list, no known destination. When I asked questions, I was told to stay quiet. But in the air, strange things started happening. Navigation systems went dark for 5 minutes. We passed a zone that's off limits to civilian planes. Then something appeared on radar. I've flown for 20 years. I've never seen anything like it. The screen shook slightly. The sound of heavy breathing filled the speakers. They said I was seeing things, but I was tired. But then my co-pilot got sick. Blood from his nose. His eyes were red. When we landed, the cargo was gone. I wasn't allowed to speak to anyone. And then, the illness came fast. Not natural. I think it was meant to silence me. The video? Cut off. Adam stared at the screen. His stomach twisted. He looked at Vega. Was he poisoned? She didn't answer. She just looked at him, her jaw tight. It's possible, she said finally. Your father saw something, or carried something that wasn't supposed to be there. Adam whispered. What if it's still on the plane? Vega shook her head. The wreck is under full control. Now they'll clean it fast. But maybe there's another way to find out what he saw. She pulled up another folder. Here, these are camera logs from inside the cockpit of that last flight. He left them on the flash drive. It's all backed up. Adam leaned closer. The screen showed blurry images of his father and the pilot. Seat, the sky dark outside the window, a strange flash on the radar. Then, in one frame, something appeared. A white object, long and thin, floating outside the window for just 1 second. Pause it, Adam said quickly. Vega froze the frame. Zoom in she did. The shape looked like a drone, but different, more like a needle, glowing faintly. That's not normal, Vega said. No civilian aircraft has that shape, and it's flying without wings. Adam's heartbeat thudded in his ears. Is that what he saw? Vega nodded slowly. That's what they didn't want him to talk about. Just then, the laptop screen blinked. A message flashed in red. Unauthorized access detected. Trace in progress. Vega cursed. They found us. Someone is tracing this flash drive. We have to move. She yanked the drive out of the port, shoved it into Adam's bag, and grabbed a radio. This is Vega. Burn location. Moving to fallback, Adam followed her outside. The sky had turned gray. Rain began to fall again. What happens now? He asked. Vega was already starting the jeep. Now we run, and find someone who still believes in the truth. As they sped away, Adam looked back one last time. Smoke began to rise from the small bunker. They're erasing it, Vega said. We were lucky to get out in time. Hours later, they arrived at a hidden airfield on the far side of the island. A small twin-prop plane waited, its engines already running. A woman in civilian clothes stood at the stairs. Vega, she said. Did you get it? Vega nodded. He did. The woman looked at Adam with kind eyes. You're the boy who landed the plane, she said. You've made the world stop and listen. Now let's show them why. Inside the plane, Vega handed Adam a small communication device. We'll be flying to Manila. From there, we'll contact a journalist your father trusted. Her name is Eliza Rowe. If anyone can help us break this story, it's her. Is she safe? Adam asked. No one's really safe, Vega said. But she's brave, and she has a voice the world listens to. As the plane lifted into the air, Adam sat by the window, staring at the clouds. He thought about his mom back at the camp. He missed her, but he knew he couldn't go back yet. Not until this was finished. Not until the world knew what his father had died trying to say. Hours later, they landed on a small, quiet runway outside the city. The night had fallen. Lights flickered in the distance. Vega led Adam through a side road until they reached a dark car waiting with its headlights off. Elisa stepped up. She was in her 30s, tall, wearing jeans and a raincoat. You're Adam, she said. I've read about you. The kid who saved a flight. Adam nodded. I didn't really save it. I just tried not to crash. She smiled softly. That's more than most adults could do. They drove to a small apartment in the city. Once inside, Eliza opened her laptop and plugged in the flash drive. Let's see what made your father a target. As the files loaded, Vega watched the window. Adam sat beside Elisa. The videos played, the strange object, the hidden logs, the message about the illness. This is huge, Elisa whispered, and dangerous. If this is real, it means certain. People have been lying to the world for years. Can we prove it? Adam asked. Eliza nodded. With these logs in your story, yes, but we'll need more. We'll need someone who was there. Adam looked at her. There was a flight attendant. I saved him. His name was Caleb. He saw something. Eliza's eyes lit up. Then we find Caleb. If he speaks, everything changes. Just then, the phone buzzed. Her face changed. They found the safe house. We have to go. As they gathered the files and headed toward the door, a black van passed slowly outside the building. Eliza turned to Adam. You sure you're ready for this? Adam looked back at her, scared but steady. I have to be. My father died for this. As they escaped through the back alley, shadows moved across rooftops. And in the silence, one voice repeated in Adam's memory his father's final whisper. They'll try to stop you, but the sky remembers everything. The rain hit the ground like tiny hammers as Adam, Eliza, and Colonel Vega rushed through the back alley. The soft splashes of their footsteps were drowned out by the thudding of their hearts. The city was alive around them, cars honking, distant, sirens, flashing neon signs, but to Adam, it all sounded far away. Only one thought rang in his head. They're coming. They're hunting us. They know I'm still alive. Vega led the way, ducking into a narrow staircase hidden between two buildings. This way, she whispered. If we get to the metro, we disappear. They climbed 3 floors in silence until they reached an old wooden door. Vega tapped it twice, then once more. It opened slowly. An old man with a crooked nose and heavy glasses peered out. You're early, he muttered, and loud. They traced us. Vega said, we need 10 minutes. Just 10. The man grunted and stepped aside. The room inside was cramped but safe. There were wires, cables, and screens on every wall. The man, who introduced himself as Galo, was a tech genius Vega had worked with before. You brought the boy, he said, eyeing Adam, and the storm. I brought the truth, Adam said quietly. Galo smirked. Let's see it, then. Elisa pulled out the flash drive and plugged it into Galo's system. As files loaded on a dozen different screens, the room glowed blue. Galo's fingers flew across his keyboard. Encrypted flight logs, hidden radar trails, cockpit voice, recordings. This is more than truth. This is a weapon. Can we trace the object in the sky? Adam asked. What my dad saw. Galo nodded. I'm already cross-matching radar anomalies from that day. Can we find Caleb too? Eliza added. He's the missing piece. Galo looked up, already searching flight manifest, cross-referencing local hospitals and refugee lists. I'm fast. You're weird, Adam said honestly. Galo grinned, and proud of it. A few minutes passed in tense silence. Then Galo pointed at the screen. Found him? Caleb Rios. Survived the crash. Treated at military outpost. Discharged yesterday. Where is he now? Vega asked. Galo narrowed his eyes. Moved to a safe house near the docks. But he's under surveillance. Someone doesn't want him to speak. Then we get to him first, Eliza said, before they silence him too. They thanked Galo and left through a back corridor that opened onto a different street. Eliza called a driver she trusted, an old journalist friend, who owed her a favor. The car pulled up in minutes, and they climbed in. The rain had slowed to a drizzle, but the tension inside the vehicle was thick. Adam stared out the window, thinking of Caleb. He remembered the man's face during the crash, the fear, the relief, the tears when they landed. If anyone else knew what happened up there, it was Caleb. He had to remember something. The docks were quiet when they arrived, the scent of salt and old wood in the air. Shipping crates towered above them like silent guards. There Eliza pointed safe house 1 to be. They approached slowly. Vega checked corners. Eliza kept her phone ready to record. Adam's palms were sweating. As they reached the door, Vega knocked. No answer. She knocked again, harder. Still nothing. We're too late, she whispered. Then suddenly click. The door opened just a crack. Caleb stood there, his eyes wide with fear. I know you, he said, staring at Adam. You saved us. You saved me. We need to talk, Adam said. Please, it's important. Caleb let them in and locked the door quickly. Inside was a small room, barely furnished. A cot, a table, 1 lamp. He looked thin, tired. His hands trembled. They said not to speak to anyone, he whispered. That the crash was weather-related, that I imagined things. But you didn't, Eliza said. You saw something. So did Captain Hayes. At the mention of the name, Caleb's eyes filled with tears. He was the only one who stayed calm. He kept us together. And then, the thing outside the window. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't a drone. What was it? Adam asked gently. Caleb closed his eyes. It was watching us. It followed us for minutes. We lost control of the instruments. Then the plane shook like it was scanned, like we were being inspected. Vega leaned forward. Did it do anything else? Caleb nodded. It disappeared. But when it left, the engines went dark. Lights flickered. And the captain, your father, he whispered to me. They don't want us to land. Adam felt something cold run down his spine. What do you think? He meant. Caleb looked at him, fear returning. I think he knew too much. And now, maybe you do too. A loud crash outside made them all freeze. A van had stopped near the entrance. Boots hit the pavement. Vega pulled her pistol. Out the back, she ordered. Caleb grabbed a small bag and followed. They slipped through a side door into an alley that led toward a nearby ferry station. We can lose them in the crowd, Eliza said. Ferries just docked. They ran through the market stalls, weaving through crates and people. Adam stuck close to Caleb. Behind them, they heard shouting orders being given. Someone was chasing at the docks. They jumped onto a ferry just as it pulled away. Adam turned and saw 3 figures in black run to the edge, watching the boat slip into the water. For now, we're safe, Vega said. But not for long. On the ferry, Caleb finally relaxed. Eliza set up her camera. Are you ready to go on record? She asked him. Caleb hesitated, then nodded. Yes, I have. 2. Captain Hayes gave his life for this. The waves rocked the ferry gently as Caleb spoke about the strange object. The sudden illness in the co-pilot, the engine failure, and the voice of Captain Hayes urging calm as the plane fell. Eliza recorded every word. When the ferry docked, she uploaded the video to 3 trusted news networks with the headline, Flight Attendant Breaks Silence the Truth Behind Flight 914's Mysterious Crash. Now the world will listen, she said. But as they stepped off the ferry, Adam's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. It read, Stop, or your mother disappears next. Adam's knees buckled, his breath caught. Eliza saw the message. We need to get her out, she said. Vega nodded. I'll call the camp. We move now. The group rushed toward the car. Adam felt dizzy. He had done everything right. He found the truth. He kept the promise to his father. But now, someone wanted to hurt his mom, because of him. His hands shook as he climbed into the car. We have to save her, he said. I don't care about the rest. I just want her safe. We'll save her, Vega said firmly. But you need to be strong. Stronger than ever. As they drove back toward the city, Caleb's interview began spreading online. Within an hour, the story was trending globally. But the threats were getting louder too. You've started something, Eliza said. And there's no going back. Adam stared ahead, jaw clenched. Then we finish what we started. But far behind them, someone else watched Caleb's interview on a dark screen. A man in a gray suit, calm, silent. He leaned back in his chair and picked up a phone. Prepare the second phase, he said coldly. Make sure the boy never speaks again. The car raced through the city, its tires splashing water across the soaked roads. Inside, Adam clutched his seatbelt tightly, staring at the screen of his phone. The message still glowed there. Stop, or your mother disappears next. Every second that passed felt like it carried her farther away. He imagined her face the way she kissed his forehead before school. The warmth in her voice when she said, I'm proud of you. The tired smile she always wore no matter how much she worked. He had to save her, no matter what. Fingers moved fast across her phone. She had already called the refugee center where Adam's mother had been relocated. They said she left 20 minutes ago, she said, escorted by someone claiming to be from the UN. That's not good, Eliza said from the passenger seat. No one from the UN would just show up unannounced. Then she's in danger, Adam whispered. This is all my fault. No, Vega said firmly. This is their fault. They're scared. That's why they're going after her, because they know you're the one who can stop them. Adam didn't feel powerful. He felt like a boy trapped in something much too big, but his father's voice echoed in his mind. Courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's just doing what's right even when you're scared. Where would they take her? Eliza asked. If they were trying to hide her, or worse. Vega looked out the window, her jaw tight. There's a warehouse near the airbase, old decommissioned, no cameras, no patrols. We used it years ago to hide diplomats. If I were them, that's where I'd go. Then that's where we're going, Adam said. Step on it. The driver nodded and pushed the car faster, weaving through traffic. The city began to blur outside. Caleb, sitting in the back seat with Adam, looked nervous. They're not going to stop, are they? He asked. Even after the video. No, Eliza said. But now the world is watching. They can't hide in the dark anymore. Adam stared straight ahead. Let them try. I'll shine a light on every secret they're hiding. It was dark by the time they reached the warehouse, a low metal building, rusted and forgotten, sitting behind a chain-link fence. The gate was open. That was the first bad sign. Vega parked the car behind a cluster of trees and turned to Adam. Stay close to me. Do not run, do not shout. We move fast, we move quiet. Adam nodded. His heart was pounding. Eliza grabbed her small camera and kept it recording, just in case. They slipped through the shadows, boots silent on the wet ground. As they reached the side door, Vega held up her hand. She pointed to a camera brand new, not old like the rest of the building. They've upgraded, she whispered, and that means they're definitely hiding something inside. She picked the lock in seconds and opened the door slowly. The hallway inside smelled of oil and metal. Lights flickered overhead. They moved past empty rooms, their breathing shallow. Then they heard a voice. A woman's voice, crying. That's her, Adam said, running forward. Adam, wait, Vega shouted, but it was too late. Adam turned the corner and burst into a room with a single chair in the middle. His mother sat there, her hands tied, her face pale. Mom, he shouted, rushing to her. But before he could reach her, the lights went out. Everything turned black. Then came the click of a gun. And a voice in the dark, so brave, so stupid. A flashlight turned on. A man stepped forward. He was tall, thin, wearing a gray suit, the same man who had watched Caleb's video. You must be the hero child, he said. The miracle boy, the truth teller. Let her go, Adam said, trying to sound strong. You don't scare me. You should be scared, the man said. Because you have something I need, and you're going to give it to me. Vega and Eliza rushed in seconds later, guns drawn. The man didn't flinch. Oh good, the bodyguards. How very dramatic. Step away, Vega said. Now, or what? He asked. You'll shoot me. In front of the boy. Adam's mother looked up. Her eyes were red from crying. Don't hurt him, she whispered, please. The man stepped back and raised his hands. Fine. I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm here to offer a deal. Vega kept her weapon pointed. You don't get to offer anything. But I do, he said, smiling. Because I know what really happened to Flight 914. I know what the captain saw. I know what's flying in our skies. And I know why they brought the plane down. Adam stared at him. Then tell me. Give me the original flight data first, the man said. The full black box. Not the pieces you've leaked online. I know your father sent you something encrypted. something no one else has seen yet. Eliza's mouth fell open. How do I know everything? He said. Because I helped cover it up. The room went silent. Adam could hardly breathe. This was it. This was the man behind it all. The voice of the silence. Give it to me, the man said again, and I'll release your mother. I'll disappear. You'll never hear from us again. Adam looked at his mom, then at Vega, then back at the man. Why do you want it? Because it's not just about a plane, he said. It's about contact. First contact. And we're not ready for what's out there. Adam stepped forward slowly. My dad was ready. Your dad was a fool, the man snapped. He risked it all for a story no one was supposed to know. He saved 219 lives, Adam said. And he trusted me with the truth. I'm not giving it to you. The man sighed. Then I'm afraid this ends badly. But before he could move, the wall behind him exploded. Smoke filled the room. Shouts echoed. A team of masked operatives stormed in. Hands in the air, someone yelled. We're with the International Court. You're under arrest for obstruction and conspiracy. The man tried to run, but Vega tackled him to the ground. More officers moved in. Eliza grabbed Adam's mother and untied her. Adam hugged her tightly. Are you okay? He whispered. She nodded through tears. You found me, she said. You really found me. Always, Adam said. I'll always find you. Outside the warehouse, police cars and news vans began to gather. The footage from Eliza's live stream had gone viral. Millions were watching. The truth was out, and it was spreading like fire. But in the crowd, Adam noticed someone else. A boy, about his age. Standing very still, watching. Adam stepped closer. Hey, he said. The boy looked at him, then slowly pulled something from his pocket. A flash drive. This was your dad's too, the boy said. He gave it to me. Said you'd know what to do. Adam's eyes widened. Who are you? The boy smiled slightly. Let's just say, I was on the plane to... I wasn't supposed to be. He walked away before Adam could ask more. Back in the car, as they drove away from the warehouse, Adam plugged in the new flash drive. Images filled. The screen blueprints. Strange shapes in the sky. Coordinates of unknown locations. And a final video message. It was his father's voice. If you're seeing this, it means the truth is out. Good. Don't stop now. What we saw? It's not just science. It's history. And maybe the future of the world. Adam looked up at Vega, then at Eliza, then at his mother. This isn't the end, he said. This is just the beginning. But as they drove toward the city, none of them noticed the dark figure watching them from a rooftop, speaking quietly into a radio. Target confirmed. He still has the final file. Proceed to phase 3. Rain tapped against the window as the car sped down the highway. Inside, Adam sat in silence, staring at the flash drive in his hand. The message from his father still echoed in his ears. Don't stop now. His mother sat beside him, eyes red but calm. Eliza typed fast on her laptop, uploading the footage from the warehouse. Vega sat in the front seat, phone pressed to her ear, voice sharp. We need a secure location now. No public roads, no hotel. And get satellite lock on this vehicle. Yes, live feed. We're being followed. Adam's heart jumped. Followed. At least 2 cars. Been on our tail since the warehouse, she said. Not police. Not media. They're driving like they've got orders. Adam looked behind them. The cars stayed far enough not to be noticed, but close enough to keep up. Black windows. No license plates. What do they want? His mom whispered. The truth, Adam said. And maybe to stop us from sharing it. We already shared the footage, Eliza said. Millions saw it. Isn't that enough? No, Vega replied. That was only a piece. What's on that drive could expose everything. Not just the plane, but what it saw before it crashed. Eliza's hand stopped typing. You mean the shapes? Yes, Vega said. The radar signals. The intercepted transmissions. All of it. Adam looked down at the flash drive. Then we need to show it to the world. All of it. Not yet, Vega said. If we rush it, it could be discredited. We need proof more than just files. We need someone who saw it with their own eyes. The boy, Adam said suddenly. The one outside the warehouse. He said he was on the plane too. That boy's gone, Eliza said. Vanished before we could ask anything. We find him, Adam said. He knows something. Vega glanced at him in the mirror. And if he's a plant? A distraction? No, Adam said. He had my dad's eyes. He knew things no one else could have known. Vega was quiet for a moment. Then she nodded. Then we find him. As they drove into the hills outside the city, the rain picked up. Trees swayed in the wind. The road narrowed. This way, Vega said, turning sharply. I know a place. Safe house used by journalists in war zones. Cameras, steel doors, independent signal tower, and no one else knows it. Eliza asked only 3 people, Vega said, and 2 of them are dead. The car bounced down a muddy path and pulled up to a small cabin hidden among trees. It looked abandoned, broken windows. Weeds everywhere but inside. It was different. Computers, screens, a backup generator, satellite dishes, and a steel door that locked tight behind them. We're safe here, Vega said. For now. Adam plugged in the flash drive. The screen lit up. Folders opened, some marked with strange symbols, others with names like Project Obsidian and Echo Chamber. One video caught his eye, titled Only Final Descent. That's it, he said. He clicked it. A grainy video played. From the cockpit of the plane, the pilot, his father, breathing hard, the co-pilot shouting, the radar beeping fast. On the screen something moved outside the plane. A shape, no wings, no sound, just floating there, near the clouds. It pulsed like it was alive. Then static screams. The video froze. And the words, transmission, interrupted, unauthorized access detected. They didn't crash, Adam said. They were stopped? Forced down by who? Eliza asked. Or what? Vega leaned closer. This proves contact. Real contact. And not just military. Civilian flight? This is huge. Adam clicked another file. A sound clip? A deep voice? Not human. Speaking in a strange rhythm. Then his father's voice, whispering. It's talking. It's not a machine. It's talking. Eliza sat back, eyes wide. People need to hear this. Yes, Vega said. But first we need confirmation. Someone else who was there. We tracked the manifest. Look for that boy. Hours passed. They checked passenger records, news clippings, surveillance footage from the airport. Finally, Eliza gasped. I found him. Look, she showed a picture. A child, no name listed. Just, seat 33E, unaccompanied minor, no ID survivor. Why would they let a kid with no ID board a plane? Adam asked. Unless he wasn't supposed to. Like a witness being moved? Vega said, hidden in plain sight. His name is Theo, Eliza said. I found a blurry interview. He disappeared after the crash. No home, no record, nothing. Can we trace where he went? Adam asked. Trying, Eliza said. Wait, there's a ping. He used a public computer in a library yesterday. Same city. Then he's here, Vega said. We find him now. They packed quickly. Rain poured harder. Vega loaded a pistol. We go quiet, fast. Just the three of us. Adam's mother grabbed his hand. Be careful. Adam hugged her. I'll be back. With the truth. The city was dark when they arrived at the library. The building was closed, but Vega knew how to get in. Back door? Maintenance. Inside, they searched the security logs. Eliza found it. Yesterday, 3:42 p.m. One user. Downloaded weather maps and this. She clicked a file. It was a drawing. A hand-drawn picture of the sky, and a shape just like in the cockpit video. Below it, coordinates. That's not just a drawing, Adam said. That's a message. It's a location, Vega said. A place he wants us to go. Why, to meet? Eliza said. To finish what the plane started? Suddenly, glass shattered. Vega pulled Adam down. They're here, she shouted. Black-clad men rushed in, silent, fast, guns raised. Eliza grabbed the flash drive. Adam ran for cover. Shots fired. The computer sparked. Smoke filled the air. Vega kicked over a shelf, blocking the aisle. Out the back, they ran through the alley. Rain soaked them instantly. Tires screeched behind them. More men, no faces. Just orders. Adam pulled the flash drive from his pocket and held it tight. They couldn't let them win. Not now. Not when they were so close. Vega pushed him into an old stairwell. Hide here, she said. No, we stay together. Go, Adam. She shouted. I'll find you. Go. Adam and Eliza raced down the stairs. Behind them, gunfire echoed. Then silence. Outside, they stumbled onto the street. A boy stood under a flickering streetlight. Soaked, silent, watching Theo, Adam whispered. The boy nodded. You came? We need answers, Adam said. Theo turned and pointed. Then follow me. But behind them, a black van turned the corner. Its headlights lit the alley like fire. Run, Eliza screamed. And they did, into the dark, into the unknown. As behind them, the sound of engines grew louder, they didn't know what waited at the end, only that it was coming fast. The rain felt colder now, hitting their faces like needles, as Adam, Eliza, and Theo ran into the narrow streets. Behind them, the black van was still coming. Its engine roared louder and louder like a monster that wouldn't stop. Adam's legs burned, but he held tight to the flash drive. Elisa was breathing hard beside him. Theo ran fast, too fast for a kid who looked so small. This way, Theo shouted, turning sharply into an alley that led to an old train yard. Adam had never seen this place before. Rusted tracks, broken train cars, and fog hanging thick in the air. Theo ducked into an abandoned car and held the door open. They all slipped inside. It was dark, smelled of oil and dust. Theo pulled the door shut just as the van passed outside. They crouched low, listening to the hum of the engine fade. I think they're gone, Eliza whispered. For now, Theo said. Adam stared at him. Who are you? Theo looked tired, like someone who had been hiding for too long. I was on that plane too, he said softly. But no one listened to me. They called me confused. Said I was just a scared kid. What did you see? Eliza asked. The truth, Theo replied. And it's still out there. Adam pulled out the flash drive. My dad recorded everything. He saw the shape too. Right before the plane fell. Theo nodded. He wasn't the only one. There were others who knew. People who tried to stop what was happening. They disappeared. And your parents? Eliza asked. Theo's eyes turned away. Gone. Before the crash, they knew something. I was being sent away. Hidden. That flight was my only way out. Adam looked at him closer now. This kid wasn't just a passenger, he was part of something deeper. Why did you draw that map? Those coordinates? Because that's where it all began, Theo said, and where it might end. That's where the signal came from. What signal? Eliza asked. The one that pulled the plane down, Theo said. It wasn't an accident, it was a warning. Theo unzipped his jacket and pulled out a folded piece of paper, protected in plastic. He opened it carefully. It showed an island, remote, no name, surrounded by jagged waters. This place doesn't exist on any map, Theo said, but it's real. I've seen it from the air. Just for a second before everything went dark, Adam studied the paper. We need to go there. Elisa blinked. We don't have a plane, or clearance, or time. Theo pulled out a small device, looked like a satellite phone. I have something better, a contact, someone who owes my family. He can get us close, but we have to move now. Viltrace, the flash drive, Vega, Adam whispered. She might still be alive. If she is, Eliza said, she'll be trying to find us. Then let's leave a sign, Theo said, a trail she can follow. Eliza opened her bag and pulled out a flare. I have one shot. Let's make it count. They climbed to the top of a signal tower near the yard. Theo watched the street. Adam stood near Eliza as she lit the flare. Red smoke poured into the sky, a signal in the dark. Now we wait, she said. Minutes passed, then a flicker of headlights far away. A motorbike, driving fast, weaving through the empty streets. The rider wore black and stopped near the flare. She pulled off her helmet. It was Vega. Eliza ran to her, hugging her tightly. How did you find us? You lit a flare in the middle of a dead city, Vega said, eyes sharp but kind. Only you would do that. Her face was bruised, her lip bleeding, but she was alive. We thought you were gone, Adam said. Almost, Vega replied. But I'm hard to kill. Her eyes moved to Theo. This him? Yes, Adam said. He was there. He knows. Vega gave a small nod. Good. Then we move. They hid the flash drive inside Theo's shoe. They'll search bags, Vega said, but they won't check your feet. Smart, Theo said. I like her. Vega smirked. I like me too. That night, they snuck onto a cargo ship headed toward the coordinates on the map. It was old, slow, and had no cameras. The captain was a quiet man who took cash and asked no questions. The ship creaked and rocked on the waves. The ocean seemed endless. Theo stood near the railing, staring out at the darkness. Adam joined him. Are you scared? Theo shook his head. Not anymore. I've been scared for too long. Now I just want the truth to come out. Same, Adam said. I just hope we survive long enough to tell it. We will, Theo said, because they're watching us too. Who? Adam asked. The ones who sent the signal? A silence fell between them. The next morning, the fog broke. A shadow appeared on the horizon. An island, small, covered in thick trees. No buildings, no smoke, just stillness. That's it, Theo said. We're here. The captain let them off in a small rubber boat. As they approached the island, Adam noticed something strange. No birds. No sounds. Just wind and waves. They reached the shore. Vega led the way with a small compass and a tracker device. There's a signal here. Faint, but it's real. They moved deeper into the trees. The air smelled like metal. The leaves felt warm to the touch. Elisa took photos. Theo drew symbols in a notebook. It's here, he whispered, under the ground. They found a clearing. In the center, a stone circle, like a forgotten altar. Theo stepped into it. The ground shimmered. A sound buzzed in their ears. Adam dropped to one knee. What? Is that a door? Theo said. Not for people, for messages. Messages from who? Eliza asked. Not who, Theo said. What? He knelt and pressed his palm to the stone. The ground glowed. A pulse shot through the trees. And suddenly, the flash drive sparked in Adam's pocket. It burned. He pulled it out. The screen lit up. A message appeared. Confirmed. Voice print matched. Access unlocked. Then, a video began. A full recording. Inside the plane, a creature. Outside the window, light bending around it. Not metal. Not fire. Just something else. Something alive. Then the words, "This is not your sky." It's a warning, Eliza whispered. They're not trying to kill us. They're trying to protect something, or keep something hidden, Vega said. Suddenly, the ground shook. Birds flew into the air. A voice echoed through the trees. Not human. Not angry, but deep and full of sorrow. Adam stepped back. It knows we're here. What do we do now? Theo asked. Adam looked at the flash drive. We finish what we started. We tell the world everything. But as he said that, a dark shape appeared in the sky, fast, black, silent. A drone? No lights, no sound. They found us, Vega said. Run. But there was nowhere to go. The island was surrounded. Boats, helicopters, black suits, guns drawn. The voice in the air grew louder. The trees began to move, and from the ground, something started to rise. The early morning sun cast long shadows as the small boat cut through the waves, carrying Adam, Eliza, Theo, and Vega away from the island that held the truth. Each of them was silent, the weight of what they had seen pressing down on their shoulders. Adam stared at the flash drive, the glowing screen lighting his face in the dim cabin. What now? He whispered. Vega, wrapping a bandage around her wounded arm, looked out at the endless ocean. We take it to the people who can help, she said. People who won't bury the truth. Eliza nodded. I've got contacts in investigative journalism, people hungry for this kind of story. Theo, still pale but determined, said, we need to be careful. They're watching, waiting. Days passed as they traveled to the nearest city, always looking over their shoulders. Adam thought of his mother, safe for now, but still a target. His heart ached with guilt and hope all at once. In the city, they met with journalists, whistleblowers, and hackers willing to risk everything. They shared files, testimonies, and the chilling video from the island. The story exploded across social media and news networks worldwide. But with attention came danger. Strange men in suits followed them. Phones buzzed with threats. Their homes were broken into and searched. One night, the safe house they stayed in was raided. Adam barely escaped with the flash drive. Theo and Vega. Eliza was captured. No, Adam shouted, but Vega held him back. We can't save everyone, she said. Not yet. The world was changing fast. Governments denied everything. The media called it a hoax. But whispers of conspiracy grew louder. People demanded answers. Adam felt the pressure crushing him. He was just a boy. How could he carry the truth of the world on his small shoulders? Then, a message came. A video. From Eliza. She was alive, held in a dark room, bruised but unbroken. Keep going, she said. Don't let them win. Adam's resolve hardened. We won't. Days later, a secret meeting was arranged. Adam, Theo, and Vega met with a retired general who had once worked in intelligence. He listened to their story carefully. If what you say is true, he said slowly, then this changes everything. He offered them protection and access to resources. But be warned, he said. There are those who will stop at nothing to silence you. Adam nodded. He knew the road ahead was dangerous, but the truth was worth any cost. Together, they planned their next move. They would expose the cover-up. They would reveal the watchers. And they would show the world the sky was no longer theirs alone. As night fell, Adam looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond the sky, something was watching, waiting, and this time humanity was ready. The night was thick with tension as Adam, Theo, Vega, and the retired general prepared their final broadcast. In a hidden studio, surrounded by cameras and screens, the truth was ready to be told. Adam's hands trembled as he held the flash. Dr. Liss was at the moment to reveal everything. The world would finally hear the story his father started. The crew counted down 3, 2, 1. The screen went live. Millions watched as Adam began to speak. My name is Adam. I am 12 years old. What I am about to tell you will change everything you believe about the sky, the world, and what is possible. His voice grew stronger. He shared the video from the plane, the strange shapes, the voice from the island, and the cover-up that tried to bury it all. As he spoke, viewers everywhere held their breath. News outlets stopped normal programming. People gathered in living rooms, cafes, and streets. The truth was breaking free. But not everyone was happy. The man in the gray suit watched the broadcast from a dark room. His face was cold. They've gone public, he said. Initiate the blackout. Suddenly the power across cities flickered and died. Phones lost signal. Screens went black. Panic spread. But the broadcast kept going thanks to backup satellites and secret networks. Adam and his team watched the world respond. Protests erupted. Governments demanded answers. Scientists began to study the footage. The impossible was now real. Then, a message came from the sky itself. A new transmission. Clear and powerful. We are here, it said. We see you. We listen. We wait. Tears streamed down Adam's face. We are not alone, he whispered. And now, no one can hide the truth. The man in the gray suit clenched his fists. This isn't over, he said. But far away, on the roof of a building, people looked up at the stars with hope. Adam smiled. We've started something bigger than ourselves. The future is here. The sky was no longer falling. It was rising.